Hey everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel, or welcome to my YouTube channel. I'm Sam Weintraub, and today I'm going to be talking about a magic trick that I came up with. Yes, you heard me right, I did come up with this trick on my own. And I really like this trick, not only because I came up with it, but because it's a great way to teach how to force a card. So, this trick involves two separate decks of cards. And you can use the card forcing technique with many other decks of cards, and you can come up with your own tricks where you force a card. So I'm using my dog's deck and my puppies deck. Here's the puppies one. Look at how small this deck is, and each card has a different dog on it. So I previewed this trick in my previous video, and now I'm going to talk about how to do it. So let's go. Okay, so the first thing you're going to need to do, I'm going to demonstrate the trick before I before I do the tutorial. So first I'm going to do a demonstration, and then you can see the tutorial, and I will put a time for you to skip to in the description if you just want to skip straight to the tutorial if you already saw how the trick worked in my preview in my previous video. Okay, so here is the demonstration. So I'm just going to riffle through, and I'll stop right here. Generally I'd have the spectator tell me when to stop, but I'm just stopping at a random card. And for the trick, you will have the spectator memorize the dog on that card, and instead of the card value. And by the way, each card has a different dog on it. Look at how cute they are. I just love dogs. So anyway, we riffled through the deck and stopped right here at this card, the Dachshund. And before I started the trick, I went through the puppies deck and found one puppy ahead of time and moved it to the top of the deck. Now, I'd assume you'd be amazed to see that it is the Dachshund. Look at how cute it is. That's just adorable. I'm in love with this deck. So, I will put a link to this deck in the description, and in my previous video I also put a link to this deck. So you know what? If you want this deck, go to my channel and go to the video right before this one, and then you will find the link for the dogs and puppies deck in the description of my previous video. So let's get on with the tutorial. Okay, so what you need to do is take your first deck, your dog's deck, and find a dog that you want to use. So you can just scroll through the deck. We have a golden retriever at home, so I think we can use the golden retriever. And what you want to do is take your chosen card and place it on the bottom of your first deck, just like that. And then you want to find that same card in the second deck. This is hard to do with such a small deck. I'll find that same card in the second deck and move it to the top ahead of time. So this trick does involve setting some stuff up ahead of time. You know what? So I'm not having to look at each card. Okay, that's the 6 of spades. There it is. There's the little golden retriever. And then we can square up the deck. Oh goodness, I dropped some. This is so hard with such a small deck. Also, back to my tannins video. If you've been involved in my previous videos, in my previous video, I went to this really awesome magic store in New York, and they had this giant jar of tiny bicycle decks, like the same size as these. So I think I'll put a link to some small decks like these in the description if I can find some, because they're not easy to come by. So with your first deck, you put the chosen card on the bottom. With the second deck, you find that same card and place it on the top. So now, you riffle through, and they tell you when to stop whenever they want to. And what you want to do, this is a bottom view, you want to take your fingers and grab the bottom card and slide it onto the top half when you pull them apart. So let's do that again, but faster. So you riffle through and stop, you grab the bottom card, pull it onto that first pile and show it to the spectator and say, you told me to stop at this card, the golden retriever. Now, before I started this trick, I went through the puppies deck and found the puppy to the golden retriever and placed it on top of the deck, because I knew that you would pick the golden retriever. And that's how you do the trick. And the preferred method that I like to do is, instead of having like the puppy for their card on top of the deck, I'll just have it in the middle of the deck, and then I'll have their card on the bottom. And as I riffle through, I stop, pull their card to the bottom, and then I show them their card without looking at it, but I actually know what the card is ahead of time. And then I go through the second deck, and I'm able to find their card. So that's the forcing technique, to force a card, and you can come up with many of your own great tricks using this forcing technique. And it makes most tricks easier, but if you do that same technique every time you have someone pick a card, they might get a little suspicious of you. So if there's other ways to do the trick without forcing the card, then have them pick it like this. Because if you riffle through that one way every single time, if you're doing it like just random street magic, then I suppose it's fine. You're never gonna see them again. It's not like they'll become suspicious. But if you do these same tricks like to your family members, then eventually they will start to catch on to like, oh well, they always riffle through the deck this one way whenever they know what my card is. So make sure you sort of mix it up a lot And I know everyone's got that one family member where you try and show them a trick and they're constantly guessing, like, oh, did you do it this way? Did you do it this way? Oh, can I see that deck? Here, can I shuffle it? Can I shuffle it? It does get very annoying, I must say. And if you're that person, don't be that way. If someone is doing a magic trick for you, even if you think you know how to do it, don't say that you know how to do it. Because if it's like some little kid doing a magic trick, or an older person, well, I'm not that old, someone my age, like a teenager who's doing that trick, don't be like, oh, I know how to do that trick, that's really easy. That makes that person feel like their magic tricks aren't good and they might not keep doing magic. And if someone does do that to you, you've just gotta keep doing magic. Don't give up on, no matter what they say. Whether they say your tricks are bad, then don't show them another trick. If they think your tricks are bad, they don't deserve to see all of the magic that you can do. So make sure to like and subscribe. I'll see you in the next video. Bye.